Hello everyone! Now that you learned how to solve for the percentage, rate, and base, let us now try to solve some word problems. So let's do the following examples. First, 90% of the 80 volunteers of the Clean and Green group joined the tree planting program. How many volunteers joined the tree planting program? For us to solve this problem, we have to first analyze it. So in this problem, we are asked to find for the number of volunteers who joined the tree planting program. And it is given that in the Clean and Green group, there are 80 volunteers and 90% of them joined. So for us to find the number of volunteers from the Clean and Green group who joined the tree planting program, we need to know what is 90% of 80. So that means we have to look for the percentage. And we know that percentage is equal to base times rate. Since there are 80 volunteers in the group, that means that will be our base because it's the total. Then our rate will be the 90%. So we'll write here 90%. Okay, so let's solve. First, let's convert or change 90% into a decimal. For us to do that, we just remove the decimal or the percent symbol, then put the decimal point of 90 and count or move it 2 times to the left. So 90% is equal to 0.90 or 0.9. Now we can multiply. 80 times 9 is 720. But we have here 1 decimal place, so in our product we should also have 1 decimal place. Therefore, the answer is 72. 72 volunteers joined the tree planting program. Next, the passing score in a 50-item term exam is 35. What is the passing rate? So in this problem, we're asked to find for the rate. If rate is missing, we know that this is percentage divided by base. So it is given that the term exam is a 50-item test. So that means this is the total number of items in the test. So our base will be 50. Then the passing score is 35. Okay, so 35 will be our percentage. Okay, so let's divide 35 and 50 for us to find for the rate. 35 cannot be divided by 50, so we have to add a decimal point and 0. 350 divided by 50 is 7, and 7 times 50 is 350. But let us remember that we have here a decimal point, so we need to copy it directly in our quotient. So we now have 0.7. But the question is asking for the rate. That means we need to convert or change this decimal number into a rate. And how will we do that? We just simply have to move its decimal point 2 times to the right. There is a space here, so we need to add the placeholder 0. So that means 0.7 is equal to 70%. So our answer will be 70%. Okay, the passing rate in the term exam is 70%. Let's try some more examples. A school party of 350 people is held in the gymnasium. If 52% of them are girls, how many are boys? So this time we are asked to find for the number of boys. But the given in our problem is that 52% are girls. And there are 350 people who joined the school party. Okay, so this is the total number of students who joined the school party. So that will be our base. Then again, 52% are the number of girls, or is the rate of the number of girls among the 350. But the question is asking for the number of boys. We know that a whole is always equal to 100%. So if 52% are girls, we need to know how many percent is for the boys. So if we will subtract 100% by 52%, this is the rate for the girls, we'll know the rate for the boys, and that will be equal to 48%. But we're not done yet because the question is asking for the exact number of boys among the 350 people. So we still need to multiply 48% by 350 or by the base to get the percentage. So we'll have 350 times 48%. So let's change 48% into decimal. That will be equal to 0.48. Now let us multiply them. Let's do that here. 350 times 0.48. We'll have 0, 40, 24, 28. Then this is 0, 20, 12, and 14. Okay. So that will be, we have 2 decimal places. So in our product, we should also have 2 decimal places. So we'll have 168. Therefore, among the 350 people in the party, 168 are boys. We can do another solution to this one. This is just one way on how to solve this problem. Okay, so I'll show you as well the second solution, but that is longer than this one. So we can also make use of the percent given for the girls. Okay, so let's do that here. We can multiply 350 by 52%, and that will give us the number of girls. Okay. So we'll have 350 times 0.52. This is 0, 10, 7. This is 0, 25, 17. Then we'll have here 12, 8, 182. Okay. So this is the number of girls. Then we just simply have to subtract it from 350, and that will give us the number of boys. So this will be 10 and this will be 8. We'll have 14 minus 8, that is 6, and we'll have 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is the number of boys. Okay, we have 182 girls and 168 boys. Let's try another one. There are 540 grade school pupils in a theater. This is 60% of the total number of pupils in a school. How many pupils are there in the school? This time we are asked to look for the number of pupils there are in the school. So that means we are looking for the base or the total. Now, we are given that 540 grade school pupils are in the theater. Okay, and that 540 is just 60% of the total number of pupils in the school. Okay, so that means this is our percentage and this is our rate. And for us to find for the base or the total, we just simply have to divide percentage and rate. So in here, we'll have 540 is the percentage and 60% is the rate. Again, we cannot divide 540 and 60% since it is still in percent. So we have to change it first into a decimal number. So we'll have 540, 60% will be equal to 0.6. Okay, because if we remove the percent symbol, put the decimal point and count 2 times to the left, we'll have 0.60 or just 0.6. Now let's divide. Our divisor is a decimal number, so we have to make it a whole number by moving the decimal point until the last digit to the right. Okay, so we'll have here 6. Since we moved ones to the right in the divisor, we'll also move ones to the right in the dividend and put a placeholder 0. So our new numbers now will be 5,400 divided by 6. Okay, 54 divided by 6 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. Since the last 2 digits are just 0, we can just simply copy it above. Therefore, there are 900 students in the school. Next, there are 15 flowering plants in the garden, of which 6 are rose plants. What percent of the flowering plants are roses? So in here, we are asked to find for the percent. Percent means the rate. Okay, so for us to find for the rate, we will just use the formula percentage divided by base. It is given that there are 15 flowering plants in a garden. So that means this is the total number of flowering plants in the garden. So we'll have it as our base. Then among these 15 flowering plants, 6 are rose plants. So 6 will be our percentage. So let's now solve. We'll have 6 divided by 15. Let's do that here. 6 divided by 15. We cannot divide 6 by 15, so we'll add a decimal point and 0. 60 divided by 15 will give us 4, and 4 times 15 will give us 60. Let us not forget to copy the decimal point directly above our quotient. Okay, then this is a decimal number, so we still need to change it into a rate by moving the decimal point 2 times to the right. So we'll have here 0.4 is equal to 40%. Okay. So 40% of the flowering plants are roses. Last example, 75% of 48 students visited an orphanage in Bulacan. How many pupils did not visit the orphanage? This time, we are asked to find for the number of pupils that did not visit the orphanage. Okay? It is given that 75% of the 48 students visited an orphanage. Okay? But the question is again, we are looking for the number of students that did not. Okay? So if 75% of the students visited the orphanage, that means the remaining 25% did not visit the orphanage. Okay, so again, we have two solutions for this one. We already had an example of this earlier, so you may choose which one you would like. But in this case, I would like to use the 25% instead of the 75%. So for the percentage, we'll have base times rate. Our base is 48 because it is the total number of students. Then the rate would be 25% because again, it pertains to the number of students that did not visit the orphanage since 75% visited. Okay, so that will be 75% plus 25%. This is visited, this is not visited. That should be equal to 100%, which is our total. Okay, so let's multiply 48, 25%. When changed to a decimal would be 0.25. Okay, then 48 times 0.25 will give us 12. There. So for the percentage, it will be 12. So that means 12 students did not visit the orphanage. And that's it for our lesson for today. Thank you for listening.